Hello everyone. Before this video gets started, please make sure you like and share as well as comment on my video once it's over. This helps with the algorithm so it can push my videos out there for people who may like my content. Thank you, and I appreciate everyone's support. My name is Kelly, and this happened to me back in 2016. I was 18 years old at the time. I was completing my senior year in high school. It was my first time being back in class after nearly a month off and away from school after my mother had passed away from her fight with cancer. We had went to her funeral, and it was really sad and somber. I was close to my mother, and this hurted me a great deal, and there's a part of me that feels missing without my mother around. Knowing that she's not going to be here for me when I graduate high school, going off to college, or a great milestone in my life like getting married, having kids, all that stuff. She won't be present for that. It hurted me. But I had to come back to school and I had to catch up on my learnings. After the school day was over, I drove back home. I opened the door. I was coming into the hallway and I saw my father coming out of the attic. I saw that he had a tray full of food, or what was left of the food. I figured that he was sitting there in the attic, depressed about what happened to my mother. It hurted. Just be able to not hear her voice anymore each time you come into the house is just something that would never be normal for me, ever. I went upstairs to my room and I started on some homework. But as I was working, I kept hearing something that was walking around up on the ceiling. I thought maybe it could have been squirrels or raccoons in the attic, so I didn't pay it no mind much. I'm pretty sure that's probably why my father was up there, so I left it alone. That same night, as I was sleeping, I awoke to hearing thumping on top of the roof. The thumping sounded rhythmic, and I knew it couldn't have been any animal that could make a rhythmic sound. Concerned, I got up from my bed and I went towards my father's room and I knocked on the door and I called out to him and I asked him, "Dad, do you hear the noise up in the attic? I think someone broke in." "No, I don't hear nothing. Go back to sleep," my father said in a grumbly voice. The noise stopped when I went into my father's room, but I knew I heard it, but I didn't want to make my father upset because I know he had to get up for work early in the morning, so I left him alone and I went back into my room. The next day, though, my father had to leave out to work a little bit early. I took a day off from school because I had a very bad stomach virus. As I was sitting in my room watching TV, I heard that thumping again and again. This time I had enough. I got out of my room and walked towards the hallway, and I pulled down the attic ladder. I walked up there as I kept hearing the noise, and it reassured me that it was definitely not a raccoon, because if it heard me coming, the noise would have stopped. It was something else. I went up there and I poked my head out. At first I saw a shadow, but it looked like a blob. It was in the right corner of the attic. And then I saw a frail, sickly man turn his head around and screamed, "Please help me escape. Your father kept me in here. I just want to get out. I don't know how long I've been in here," the man said. I was confused about what he was talking about, but I didn't touch the man. I didn't want to take any chances. I called 911 and officers arrived about 10 minutes later. The man stood there in the attic, and then I noticed something. He had a chain wrapped around his ankle where he couldn't move. Before I had time to ask him about the chain, the officers came up and they helped save the man. After a little while, what I was told next just turned my whole world upside down, and it resulted in an arrest. Here's the full story. So apparently, my father was having an affair with a woman, and my mother figured it out. She was going to expose my father for what he done and how he hurt her. But then my father injected some kind of drug in my mom considering that she was fighting cancer, and he killed her. He confessed to it. Now, as for the guy who he had in the basement, he decided to keep him there because he will expose the secret that he not only had an affair, but he knew that my father killed my mother. And once it was out in the open, his ex-wife and my dad got arrested. After hearing all that, it makes my mother's death even more horrifying. The fact that she was actually doing well and it wasn't cancer that killed her, it was my father. He gave her some medicine and it obviously stopped her heart. As for the man that's chained up, I actually got to talk with him. I come to learn his name. Also, as for my father and his girlfriend, they're both awaiting sentences. My father's looking to have 2 life sentences in prison, as his girlfriend is looking to have only about 16 years in prison for being an accomplice. I don't talk to my father anymore after what he done. I can't stand that man.